Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories, add your tales. Let's get into this thing. Hello, Skyrim Addict podcast on a Tuesday. This will be out on a Wednesday. Actually, it'll be out right after this. My Sunday recording schedule has been blown a little bit, but I'm going to try and get back to that on Sunday. So anyway, I moved on from Wormstooth. I'd finished up the main quest and that. I believe I talked about that. And I was like, oh, you know what? While I still have this character going, I'm still playing with the whole conjuration thing. Now I'm using dragon priests and all death lords and mixing them up with my Dremora. The dragon priests are great because they all conjure stuff too. So I conjure 3 dragon priests, and they conjure a couple frost atronachs, and then Lydia has a staff, some conjuring staffs for different atronachs. So there's all kinds of people running around when we're going to battle, and I hide in the back and just kind of duck out of the way and just stay safe, basically. But so I was going through, and I'm using the workshop. I'm using the Steam Workshop. I'm not using the Nexus yet, so I'm just doing some basic stuff, modding wise. But once I'm done this character, I'll probably switch over. But I'm really enjoying my play right now. And I've slowly just been adding quest mods on, and this is an older one, the McMiller Chronicles. It's just a small quest, not huge, but basically you end up meeting this character Angus in Solitude at Twinking Skeever up there, and he sends you on a couple little fetch things to I guess as a test almost, basically. So you do all that, you go, then he tricks you and disappears, and you're like, all right, what's up with this jackass? So you leave, obviously this is spoilery for the mod, so if you're going to play it, just a heads up, I won't get into the whole thing, but it came out in 2012, so I mean it's been around quite a while. I'm just getting to it now. I found the voice acting pretty solid. It was maybe a little slow at times, the speech or whatever, but overall, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Good little back and forth. I would definitely recommend fast traveling, playing it. You got to go back and forth quite a bit to different places, but very enjoyable. So anyway, after you talk to Angus at Twinking Skeever, he disappears. You head outside. There's some Khajiit there. I think his name is Zamon or Zaman. We'll go with Zamon. It sounds better. He's a little French. And he knows Angus, and I think he kind of puts you on his path a bit. So then you go find this dude in a cave who's crazy and has all kinds of carcasses laying around. None human, I don't believe, that I noticed. I think it was mostly animal carcasses, but he's a little whacked out. You got to help him out. There's a beast you have to defeat for him. So you kind of go back and forth with him a few times, helping him out, helping him get his memory back. So you have to go get this thing so he gets his memory back, and that becomes a whole little quest line. And you head to a cave. It was pretty good. A couple pretty good dungeon/cave crawls. They were pretty challenging. One I got lost in somehow. I don't know how. But yeah. But no, they were fun. Definitely challenging. I think I'm playing on. Let's see. What am I set on? I'm not on Legendary. I am on Master. Sorry. So I'm playing on Master. So the enemies are, relatively challenging. But anyway, you get the thing to help him get his memory back. You go back, talk to him, blah, blah, blah. He kind of gives you an idea of where to find Angus. And Angus also has a treasure you find out along the way. So you go to talk to Zamon, and he's like, "All right, I'll meet you there." So you get there, and you know, spoilers, just heads up. So you get there, and Mr. Zamon double crosses you, of course. You know what? Did I come across? I don't think I came across him again, though. Oh, no, he was dead on the ground. Oh, okay. So you go in there, Angus is dead on the ground, and Zemon, I think, is somewhere else. And you come across this guy, the Slayer, and some other guy that you got to defeat. Pretty good battle. A lot of Draugr in one area. You know, I sent my whole crew up there, the whole team, squad went rolling up there, battling the different what are they called? Draugr, different level Draugrs and stuff. So I really enjoyed it. A lot of loot. If you're looking for loot, for me, not looking for so much loot right now. I'm taking stuff, but not like an excessive amount. Gems. Since I did the Baron's Eye quest early on, I have so many gems that it's disturbing. So I've stopped picking up any that aren't flawless, and even at this point, I may stop picking up the flawless ones. I use the flawless ones in what is it called? Oh, in enchanting. Because part of the Ordinator perk, you can boost up your enchanting with different flawless gems. Some affect hands, some affect jewelry, some affect body. You know, the different parts of the body and stuff. So, it's where I use them for that, and I'll probably use them for making jewelry and stuff soon. Because once I do the top level perk in the enchantment tree in Ordinator is Miracle, where you get 3 enchantments on an item. So, and I think we talked about this last time. So what I'm going to do is, I haven't decided which item yet. Probably not the robes, because I already have robes with 3 enchantments on it, because I have the Archmage's robes. So I may do like boots with shock, fire, and ice. Shock, fire, and frost damage. Or not damage, you know what I mean. Protection. So I'll have all those on the boot. And then boost the enchanting back up to 100 again. And do something else. I don't know. Maybe could do the ring or do a necklace. You know. Anything but the robes, really, because the robes already have 3 enchantments. But, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, actually, wait. Because I have the Archmage's robes, I can't wear a headgear, right? I think that's right. So maybe I should do robes. Because technically, I'm only getting 3 enchantments on 2 pieces. Because the robes count as 2 pieces. So I could actually get 5 enchantments for the 2 pieces, because I could do 3 and 2 with the headgear, whatever it may be. So you know what? I may do the robes. Now that I was just thinking about that. I didn't even realize it. So I added a couple other things recently. Let's see. I added a Project Reality, Climates of Tamriel light version. So I guess that's probably for the workshop. But I really like it a lot. I was in Solitude, and like this torrential rainstorm started, and I have also the enhanced cities and stuff like that, so it adds all this greenery and lushness to it, and you know, some mesh, static mesh improvement, and you know, just little things like that. HD plants, I think I have. So all those little things together, and then combined with this like the rainstorm, it reminded me why I love the game so much. I was in Solitude for part of the McMillar Chronicles, and I was just like, I just wanted to stand there and watch the rain and listen to the rain. It was just so perfectly done, and it just worked. You know, it just worked so well for me. I was like, oh God, this is, you know, this is what gets me in this game. It just works so perfectly for everything I like about it. Let's see. Did I read that one already? Crapola. I was checking Dave's email. I think I read that one already, though. So if I did, I'll double check. But yeah, no, everything about it was just so immersive for me, and it just, I don't know, that rainstorm just hit me just right. I was like, this is why I love this game. Just you just feel, it feels home, feels like home. You know what I mean? Um, I do play other games and things like that, but I've been playing a crap ton of Minecraft while watching Murder She Wrote, and some other things. I was playing a little bit of Thief the other day because it was, I think it was free. I think I had it from Games for Gold on my Xbox. So I tried that out. I enjoyed that. I played that for a little bit. I'll probably get into a little more of that. And I played a little bit of Fallout here and there. I've fallen off Fallout a little bit, and back into Skyrim. I don't know. It's just, I think Skyrim hits my zone a little more than Fallout does. Not that I don't enjoy it quite a bit, but I feel like I can always come back to Skyrim, and it's always there. It just always feels good. Update on my Iron Man character from a long, long time ago. I played a character just only wore iron gear, used iron double daggers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Connor has taken over that character. My son, he's going to be 8 soon, but he's taken over the Iron Man because that's on Xbox 360, and he plays the hell out of Iron Man. He's probably not wearing iron anymore. I don't know what he's wearing at this point, but yeah, he's kind of taken over that character and run with it. He really likes it. That was a fun playthrough. I enjoyed that a lot. So even on the consoles, you can play a million different ways and do different things. Because for people who haven't listened to the whole time here, a long time ago, I don't know how long ago it was. Well, anyway, I only started playing on PC like a year ago, say around that time. So prior to that, I would play different character styles on the 360. I played a character where I ate and slept and things like that. I mean, I just had to track it myself as opposed to having a mod track it and have it actually, affect the character. I would work those things into it. I played a vegan character where I did my best to not use any animal products in the game, including eating. That was not so easy. It's hard to determine what robes have like leather belts and things and what's don't. So I mean, I did my best with that. But I only ate like apples and only made potions that didn't involve any animal products. So no giant's toes, no crab, whatever, no crab stuff. Was there any crab? No salmon roe. None of the fish, none of that. So I did that for a while, which was really enjoyable. I've done I think Andrew asked me recently how many characters I'd done, and I couldn't remember. I don't know, 15 or so. But this Conjuration one, I've never really. I did a pure mage on the 360 way back, but I think I focused on destruction, and I've always worked in illusion with my archery and my sneaking. So I have always used the magic, but I only really did one pure mage character until this one. And this one, honestly, if I was on the console, I probably wouldn't be as into it. It's just these extra things with Ordinator and stuff have really, really made it an excellent playthrough for me, and just really works well for me. But also Andrew was having fun with that ritual stone, raising everybody from the dead. So I guess that's a very similar thing. And so there is so many ways to play it. And if you're just getting into it somehow, just play it however you want first, then try a different way. Then just change your character up in the middle and keep going. There's so many things you can do. And so it's just so many ways to enjoy the game. But make sure you enjoy your character. I think that's what a little bit what we ran into with the last roundtable. It didn't work for anybody, and it shouldn't be a chore to enjoy it. It should just feel right. You should want to get into it and explore and experience your character. And I really want to get back into exploring. I feel like I've kind of shied away from exploring because I've I played the game so much at this point that I feel like I know everywhere, but there's, like, what was it? Oh God, that ruin down by Riften I talked about a few episodes ago. Like I hadn't been there Forelhost or something like that. But anyway, I hadn't been there in years and didn't even realize it because I've cut so far back on my exploring because I just feel like I got to fast travel everywhere because I've already seen everything. I just need to walk more even now because there's places I'll come across that I haven't been in a while. Whereas fast traveling, I kind of come across the same places over and over, you know? But that's kind of been my in-game week. I also downloaded Dark Brotherhood Resurrection, which is adds a 4-hour campaign to the end of the Dark Brotherhood. So I'm going to get into I think I'm going to do the Dark Brotherhood next, since I added that on. And that's an older mod too. It's from I don't know. It was last updated in 2013, so it's been a while. So, but I'm going to give that one a go. It's another one that is on the workshop, so I tried it out. But I'm definitely going to do that. So I've gotten quest-wise, I've added Forgotten City, which I really enjoyed, Worm's Tooth, McMiller, and now Dark Brotherhood. And obviously I did Falscar before. Falscar's great. It's huge. I didn't love the dialogue as much. It felt a little long-winded at times. Worm's Tooth, I thought, really hit it well. Not as large as Falscar, but I thought everything worked well. And Forgotten City, for me, was absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it quite a bit. So there's a bunch of extra quests you can add on if you're playing on PC. And if you're not, hopefully someday mods will be available on the consoles. Maybe. I doubt for Skyrim, but you never know. Anything is possible, as they say. So I do have some. I'll be recording again this weekend. I'm gonna actually put a call out, see if anybody wants to hop on with me. I'll put a call out here if anybody wants to hop on. Send an email to Skyrim Addict Podcast, gmail.com. But obviously, I'll put a call out to all the normal people as well. And there's a new show, ASA Game Talk. I think if you search it on iTunes, is all one word, ASA Game Talk, ASA GAMETALK. It'll come up. Jeremy's running that you've heard him on actually he was on here last week, wasn't he? And he's been on the Fallout feed and stuff like that. So he's basically running that. It's just a general gaming contest. No, podcast. Yes. Basically not talking about Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, or Fallout. The guys are kind of, I think Juan was on last week, and also Zach from Plug and Play. So Plug and Play you can check out on iTunes as well, his podcast. So check that out. I'll put that in the show notes. And I will be getting it up on the website soon so that it's easy to access from there. But you can go through iTunes or, if you're using Downcast or whatever, and search it there. But so we have some feedback from Dave. So he is currently short interlude because he has no access to a machine with ESO or Skyrim. Internet connection is by telephone modem. Wow. So maybe you could play. What was the text-based game back in the day that I used to play? I can't remember. Oh man, if only I could remember. Back in my Prodigy days, or Prodigy was internet access, or some kind of internet provider back in the day, CompuServe, those kind of things. He's in a fairly remote northwest bit of Scotland. Oh, nice. Wow, that's very Skyrim-like. That sounds amazing. And so he's in a fairly remote part of northwest bit of Scotland, close to family home pastures, probably part of the last true wilderness in Europe. Local story tells of how a god was once asked by a local minister, "What is heaven like?" God replied, "It looks just like Scotland, both without the lairds and the kirk. Single track roads are a joy to drive." Wow, I may meet with one other vehicle in a couple hours, and we will vie for the privilege of reaching the passing place first. That sounds awesome. Oh, man. So, sorry about that. You cannot drive fast here. Sheep and deer wandering all over the road. Bloody things have no road sense at all. The scenery is, as ever, beautiful, magnificent, and majestic. Miles and miles of bugger all but mountains, locks, and stunning scenery. It really does you good. That's like real life Skyrim. He's currently attempting to play Oblivion on his laptop while he's away. The laptop does struggle with the game, however, and it is a really good game. It's been a long time since I played it too. So here is a little tale of Makachia. Obviously, she's the Skyrim character searching for her brother. Surprises and consequences. I'd set up my camp. I had something to drink and eat, then settled down to wait as patiently as I could. After setting fire and storm atronachs to patrol the area around Mehrunes Dagon's shrine, I just stared into space above the shrine. If you remember last time, we finished off at Mehrunes Dagon's shrine after she confronted him. The shrine shimmered and Dagon appeared again. I stood and walked up to the shrine and looked at him, but said nothing. He said, "Your brother has escaped his captors and is gone from Oblivion. He is in Davin's Watch in Morrowind." Davin's Watch no longer exists. Why are you lying to me, Dagon? I snarled at the image. It does exist. In the second era, around year 500, was the reply. I was stunned for a moment at this. Impossible to prove to me he lives through, and who has done this thing, I asked harshly. It may be Molag Bal or Sheograth. Both are involved with him in some way. I know no more than that, was the whispered reply. Give me proof he is still alive, and tell me how to get him to return. He could not, or would not, or was too frightened to tell me how to get him back. An image appeared above the shrine, and suddenly it shimmered and sharpened. A dock with ships appeared, where Dunmer soldiers dressed as in the old style armor stood guard at various access points. A young Dunmer male walked towards them from the adjacent beach, strolling through the surf in the gathering dusk. He was dressed in shabby leather armor and carried a staff and was accompanied by a clanfear. He had a bow over his shoulder and a quiver of arrows in his belt. Gods preserve us, it looked like Beta, but he looked older, more assured, more grown up. He had filled out. The walk was unmistakable, the slouching roll of the shoulders as he walked. That hadn't changed, and would be difficult to know if you hadn't met him. It was my brother, alive and in a time and place I could not reach. Yet. The scene dissolved, and Mehrunes Dagon appeared again, saying he had done as I asked. He could do no more. I looked at the image and said, If I find you have lied, then your punishment and torment will last decades, possibly centuries. I would keep one or two of your devotees alive and kill them slowly and prolong your death in that way. There are always fools who want to follow Daedric lords. They can be found. Think well on this, I shouted, and dismissed him with a wave of my hand. He wailed as his image disappeared. Gods, what do I do now, I thought. If Sheograth was involved in anything, then anything could happen, literally. It didn't bear thinking about the chaos that mad bastard would cause. He was really bad news. On the other hand, he always liked a challenge. He was too intelligent for his and everybody else's own good. He was also stark staring mad, but essentially not a killer, just careless. Molag Bal was just a much more nasty version of Mehrunes Dagon. He was of a similar nature, but he had more brains and vindictiveness. Not a pleasant opponent. He would have to be handled very carefully. He was a killer without thought or remorse. Very dangerous, Daedric Lord. I returned to my camp and sat down by the fire and pondered my situation. My Atronach still patrolled the area, and I relaxed in the warmth of the flames. A quiet feminine voice whispered to me, Now that the distraction of your brother is lessened, maybe it is time to complete your agreement. Without the skeleton key in place, I cannot influence things around your brother. He expects to join the Thieves Guild in Tamriel. That won't happen unless the key is back. That Thieves Guild will wither and die like all others if the key is not returned. There will be no blessings because there will be no root for this to happen. I sat up stunned at this. Oh shit, the bloody skeleton key was still in my pack. I remembered Carlia's words as she disappeared in the fast travel mist that night after we killed Mercer Frey. I forgot to replace the key. Sithis preserve us, I need to focus. My distraction and worry over my brother was hindering me in many ways. I need to stop this now. Where in the hells of oblivion was I to go? I pulled out my map and looked for the Twilight Sepulchre. It was close to the Shrine of Akatosh, northwest of Kraktus Keep. I broke camp and prepared for fast travel to Shrine of Akatosh. Maybe I should get a blessing before I moved on to my real destination, I thought, as I watched the Shrine of Mehrunes Dagon disappear like sparkling dust. So, it looks like Micachia has figured out what has happened to poor McBeta, who's stuck in ESO. So that's interesting how it's tied together, and now she kind of has to go on her own journey. But so that was feedback from Dave there, and a little connection with one of his characters. Hope he's enjoying the wilds of northern Scotland. I'll be on vacation soon myself, but so this week, I'll like I said, I'll try and get some people on. We have also, Thursday night, there'll be a live chatterbox on the YouTube channel. We'll be talking about all kinds of stuff. Who knows what? TV stuff, genre TV stuff, magicians, whatever everybody's watching. I don't know. I saw Zootopia, things like that. And this weekend, Sunday, the fourth episode of Fallout Roundtable hit. So keep an ear out for that. If you've been following along with the Fallout 4 Roundtable, that'll be coming out too. So thank you, everyone, for listening. And we'll be back. We got to go back. Lost reference. Yes, also, there will be I'm going to be involved in a charity podcast thing coming up in April. I'll mention it with the Lost Podcast with Jay and Jack. They do some other stuff now, too. But I'll mention that soon if anybody would like to, see what cause they're doing this time. But it's something I get involved in every year, so keep an ear out for that. All right, everybody, I'm out. Later. Thanks for listening to this episode of Skyrim Addict. You can find all of our contact information, YouTube channel information, as well as other shows over at asapodcasting.com, including our newest show, The Fallout Feed. Special thanks to Claire Lafar for the show's artwork. You can find her stuff at etsy.com/MayaFirePrints, MayaFirePrints. And a thank you to Dan Bull for the use of his music in the Roundtable open and close. You can find him on YouTube or iTunes. Just search Dan Bull. Once again, thanks for listening, and later, everyone.